Yo, what is up, boys and girls of the Mirko? Welcome back to another, yes, it's been a while, but welcome back to another SarCAST episode. God damn it. I don't know how long it's been. I think 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks since the last SarCAST. I'm currently recording this at 1:29 a.m. Just got back from hanging out with my friends, and I owe you guys a SarCAST, you know, so I'm going to edit it. I'm probably going to be staying up all night until like, what, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to edit it, but it's all good, my dudes. I love doing this stuff. Let's start it instantly with the first topic. TNC Pro Team reveal. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about TNC and their reveal. Firstly, let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room. This is probably one of the most creative roster reveals that I've ever seen. And I have to say, man, a lot of people will say that TNC is a cringe team, especially with their dances and stuff, but I personally love it. I think it's much better to be cringe, to at least risk being cringe by trying to have fun, by trying to be creative, compared to just doing nothing and being boring. So hats off to TNC. Maybe in M5, if they make it to M5, or if they just, you know, come around to the arena, and if I get to cast M5, maybe we can do like a call dog what's it called, collaboration or something, just with the whole team. I met them at MPL season 11, but I was a bit too shy. I didn't know any of the players, so I didn't get to walk up and say what's up. I just said, hey, yo, what's up, guys? That's it. But yeah, TNC, from the looks of it, I'm very sorry, guys. My knowledge on MPL PH and their roster is a bit limited, but to my understanding, it's basically the same team, but they added 2 new members. One was a multi-role member, and the other one is Goyo. Goyo is the reason I kind of remember Goyo more is because he was listed as the mid laner. Escalera moved on, or actually moved to a different team. And honestly, I do not know what Goyo brings to the table for TNC. I think he might be part of the MDL team. Again, I'm very sorry for this. I don't really know when it comes down to the MPL PH rosters, and you know what these players, or where these players are from in their history. But I can't wait to see TNC, because from what I've been hearing since Snapdragon is TNC have been doing really well in scrims. I don't know if this is a thing. This has been a thing for a long time. TNC just does really well in scrims, but in MPL on stage is completely different, because we have seen that from a lot of different teams as well. I think REKT M3 performed really well in scrims, but then on stage, Blacklist were able to take them down. ONIC PH were able to take them down. So again, scrims is just like a place for, you know, testing, for experimenting, for practice. But I think it does give us a little bit of something to expect, I would say. There's something to expect now from TNC. A lot of people in the comment section of TNC's video on TikTok, on YouTube, any video they post, it's always top 8 secured. But honestly, looking at or listening to a lot of coaches, and listening to a lot of their scrim results, getting information on their scrim results, it seems like TNC have really improved, and they've kept this roster because they want to build on it, because they see potential. And again, I'll always love and support a team with charisma, with personality, and it seems like TNC is probably the team with the most personality right now, the most fun. Well, at least if it's not personality, it's fun, right? The dances, they even performed in MPL season 11. So good luck to TNC. Hope they do well in MPL PH season 12, and I definitely am going to be looking forward to see their performance. Moving on to the next topic, boys, we have ONIC PH Pro Team reveal. Hey, we literally just mentioned about Escalera, a TNC member before, and now he is he's in ONIC PH. I'm not too sure about this move right now. Escalera was definitely one of the standouts, in my opinion, looking at TNC's performance in Season 11. But personally, I think ONIC PH already had a very solid mid laner in Super Friends. I think he's a very talented mid laner. And to my understanding as well, I think Rapidude is back in MPL, and Kekadude is not in the roster. I don't know if he changed his name or something, but yeah, it's Rapidude in the roster. I loved Rapidude. When ONIC PH made their debut with this new, with the Monsters Anarchy, right, team, in Season 10, it was a very interesting move. I've never seen that before. You know, a whole team change from the M3 ONIC PH, and then all the players obviously moved to Indonesia, to Cambodia, etc. And then they just got a whole new team. And I definitely did not expect them to make it to the playoffs. They did well. They did really well in their first season with Super Friends and Rapidude. And Rapidude is one of those roamers with like really high potential, and I honestly cannot wait to see Rapidude perform again. I think me personally, when I think about Rapidude, I think of his phenomenal Atlas game in season 10, where his perfect match was just not on cooldown. At least every time it's off cooldown, he will always just use it. And with the flashiness of Escalera, I think this team will definitely have a little bit of a boost as well. I think ONIC PH will be slightly stronger than last season, depending on how the other players perform as well. But I think Ryzen here is a pretty interesting choice that they've gone for. Ryze has always been a very underrated jungler. I don't think a lot of people have given him credit. I think mostly because when he was in Omega, he was overshadowed by superstars like Chaknu, Renzio back in the day, and even, heck, Kelra, right? The god gold lane, the gold standard, as a lot of people, mentioned about him. So Ryzen moving, especially considering Kelra, I've heard the news. I haven't personally seen the VODs or the matches that Omega have been playing, but I've heard that Kelra has moved to the jungle, so this move makes sense for Ryzen, but I am very curious to see what ONIC PH will do with Ryzen. With the loss of Sensui, a player who was just very reliable in the retry department, now changing it with Ryzen, a player who can do well on Assassins, I think, and utility. I think he's a very well-rounded jungler, but I think it's just kind of like a jack-of-all-trades situation where you don't really see him pop off too hard on any particular role. Like when he's on the utility, he does well, but he's not like the best utility. When he plays assassin, he does really good, but he's not the best assassin. So maybe that's what ONIC PH need. Maybe ONIC PH just need a bit more stability, and we'll see how they perform. I've heard from Wolf as well that they've gotten a new coaching staff, and it's promising. He said that, the coaching staff is going to be crazy. ONIC PH will have a lot to prove, and yeah, we'll see how ONIC PH performs. Next topic, we're gonna go to this. Okay, this one's kind of a rumor, but I do want to talk a little bit about this because I'm not gonna be talking about this in the MPL recap that's gonna be uploaded tomorrow. By the way, REKT is going back to gold lane. So presumably, well, rumors have it, REKT might actually be going back to the gold lane. When he's been streaming, he's been scrimming apparently, and apparently in most of the matches that he's been streaming, it's been him in the gold lane. Now, though I am a fan of REKT's gold lane, obviously, if you're Indonesian, you gotta be a fan of REKT's gold lane, especially his Claude. It's one of the reasons they were able to win M1, Kimmy, and the whole lots of gold lane. Or at the time, it wasn't gold laners; it was just marksmen, right? I think REKT definitely has potential in the gold lane. I think he's still a phenomenal Claude. I think he's still really good. But unfortunately, I will have to say this as well. I think the problem for Alter Ego isn't really the gold lane. I think Nino is actually one of the best players on the team with Pi. Those two players are what makes Alter Ego special. And I think they have been lacking in the mid-trio department. So with REKT going to the gold lane and pushing Nino away, one of the stars, one of the people with great potential to carry this team, if they don't fix their trio mid issue, I think it's literally going to be the same, if not worse. Because again, not because of REKT's individual performance that may impact him as well. He hasn't played gold lane on the main stage for such a long time, but my concern mainly isn't that. My concern mainly is the synergy with the team. Nino's been with the team since season 7. He joined from MDL mid-season 7, and he's always just been at first flashy gold laner or side laner at the time, and he transitioned into a very solid marksman who can play in the back, who can be very safe at times, but have that signature instinct to go aggressive whenever he needs to. So we'll see how this goes. If this rumor is even true. Again, it's just a rumor floating out there. I'm not too sure if it's actually a fact, but again, if they don't fix this trio mid problem, it's Alter Ego will go winless this season. I'm not even joking. They have botched this mid trio so hard, and mainly it's due to Sully Boy on Assassins, and they didn't even get to play last week, so that's why we're going to be talking about Alter Ego here, not MPL recap. MPL recap will be coming up tomorrow, but yeah, we're not going to be talking about Alter Ego because they didn't play at all. Let's move on to RubyDD, Ken, and Justin. The 3 Falcons have ventured, have flown out of Falcon, and now apparently they're making a new team. They're making a new superstar Burmese team, and I am all-in support for RubyDD, Ken, and Justin. Mainly Ken. He's a good friend of mine. I love the guy. He's a really good player, and I actually expected Ken, Ruby Didi, and Justin to get offers from other regions, like Cambodia, Malaysia, and Indo. And from what I've heard from them, I think they have actually been offered, but I think if it's not PH or if it's not ID, they are actually reluctant to go, and maybe that's why they've just chosen to, stick to Myanmar, try to find a new gold lane, try to find a new roamer, and then just qualify for M5. If they are able to, this trio, Ruby, Ken, and Justin, are able to beat the new Falcon, then that's going to be a slap in the face to the Falcon organization, right? Kicking these 3 players, or actually their whole team, out. Even Naomi, now, since he's left Falcon, he has been having a phenomenal time in RQ. And I've already said it before, for a long time, this team is just very fun to watch. They're a very entertaining team. They're a very flashy team. They're a team with very interesting and unique strategies that they were able to utilize in both MSC and M4. And I honestly can't wait to see their growth. MSC, it seems like, that was their first ever international tournament. They still had the jitters. Even though they still came in with a pretty solid performance, I think they all knew they could have been better. And M4 was kind of proof that they were better than what they showed at MSC. At M4, though, they were eventually knocked down, and they had to finish 4th/5th with NA's The Valley. Their win against Blacklist in their group stage was magical. I don't think I need to say anything more. I just feel like Ruby Didi, Ken, and Justin, well, the whole team before, even Naomi and Zipex at the time, and even Silent. I think Silent might be in the roster too. I'm not sure. But yeah, this lineup is always promising, and I'll be supporting them, definitely, to qualify for M5. Hopefully it's not a curse. Hopefully it ends up being a bless. Yeah. All right, good luck, Ruby Didi, Ken, and Justin. Moving on to the next topic. What happened to Coach Reno? A lot of people, even though this is old news, to be completely honest with you, this is like two weeks old at this point, but a lot of people have still been asking me, and has still been asking a lot of different casters what happened to Coach Reno, especially when they didn't see him walk up with GEEK fam on stage for their last match when they picked Saber Rome. If you guys don't know, Reno pulled the middle finger in front of the camera in MPL ID, and since then he has been banned, or not banned, but he's been temporarily banned, I guess. Temporarily suspended. Suspended is the better term to use here. So he won't be there on stage for the next 2 matches that GEEK fam has. They've already played 1 match without him, so the next match we won't see him, and then the 3rd match we're going to be able to see him back. Yeah, it's just a very unfortunate circumstance, but it's also a very stupid move by Reno. I think it was just muscle memory or something. Maybe he does that a lot in the GEEK fam gaming house, but definitely not a good look for GEEK fam. They had to release a press statement. They had to release everything. They had to, even MPL had to release a statement that this is not what we condone, etc. And it's always a bad look when someone just flashes the middle finger. I think this has happened in MPL PH and MPL 2 times now. Oh man. Yeah, it's that's it. That's all about it. Like for Reno, in case you don't know. So we're moving on to the next topic here. It's gonna be a quick SarCAST, I think. There's not really a lot of things to talk about. So moving on to the next topic, which is honestly quite a big one if you are an EVOS Legends fan, because EVOS Legends are WCG champs. Again, this is old news, but we didn't get to talk about it last week, so might as well talk about it now. Because even though it's old news, it's still a phenomenal achievement that only EVOS Legends has been able to achieve. So I gotta congratulate EVOS Legends. I'm a Bigatron fan, as you can see from the scarf back there. But yeah, EVOS always have the championship mentality. I don't know what it is. They're always able to come back, whether it be M1, Season 7, I would say as well. And yeah, Season 7 with the entrance of Fairsick to the MPL, they weren't doing too hot in the regular season. With Fairsick coming up, they were able to just fully 180, pull a 180 and actually win the entire thing. And even to this day, they are still doing really good. In Season 11, they were able to come back multiple times, reverse sweeping Alter Ego and GEEK fam in the playoffs. And then, just recently, they've just been able to pull off a lot of comebacks, is what I'm trying to get at. And yeah, if you guys don't know, they're the team with the first ever 3 world championships. ISF, M1, and WCG. And it's all actually the first it's the first MLBB World Championship for that tournament. You know, for M1, it's the first Moonton World Championship. For ISF, it's the first time MLBB has been added to the ISF lineup and EVOS 1. And WCG, first time ever we have MLBB in WCG and EVOS Legends 1. So, well, not Legends. Technically, WCG was Icon, so just EVOS just have a championship mentality, and WCG was just crazy. Echo MPL lost to Enco MDL. Echo MPL lost to ONIC Overlord, which is the tier 3 team for ONIC ID. And EVOS Icon were able to ultimately win up against Echo Proud, the MDL team. So that was just a very Cinderella-ish run, I would say, because not a lot of people would expect EVOS Icon to be able to beat Echo MPL. I think no one expected Echo MPL to lose against every team like that as well. And it just goes to show you that I think this also gives credit to Zyda and the entire roster they displayed in Snapdragon. The fact that they were able to, I would say, have more of a convincing performance in Snapdragon than in WCG shows you just how power levels, or how these pro player power levels can shift. Because I remember saying this in the last stream that I did, that Benny QT is no longer no longer the best gold laner in my opinion in the world, and some dumbass in the comments said that I was shitting on Benny. No hate to Benny, man. I still love his playstyle. I still love the guy. He's a very humble dude, and me and Benny are cool. It's like, even when I said he was #1 gold laner in the world, he told me, he personally messaged me and he said that, nah, bro, your #1 is overrated, meaning him. And he's a cool dude. So I don't know, haters are gonna hate, and that's actually, that's a good segue to the next point here, which is just the hate in the MLBB space. It's absolutely ridiculous. And honestly, this has been a thing for a long time, but I just want to talk a little bit about it now, because I don't know. For me personally, it just feels weird that, especially for Aran. Is Aran overrated? That topic we'll discuss in the MPL recap, but I just want to talk a little bit about the hate that Aran is getting for having a personality and having a good performance in MPL ID, because it's absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. We haven't ever, well, not ever, but we haven't seen a player that has been promoted to the MDL suddenly play like this in a long time. Aran's performance in both his match against Bigatron and ONIC, and even in their loss against EVOS Legends, I would say were great. Maybe not the Uranus game number 3 against EVOS Legends, but all the other games, I think he was amazing. I think he has a specific play style, and though this play style may be weird, may be unique, and may be crazy, a lot of you guys maybe don't like it, you can't deny that it worked. He got MVP in all of the wins that Aura Fire has gone since he's joined the roster. And he's proven that he's not just a one-trick pony who can only split push in the side lanes. When he played Arlet against EVOS Legends, he won. He was able to outclass, I would say, even Fluffy there on the Arlet in a team fighting hero. And in Game 3, they actually forced EVOS Legends to ban out the Arlet. So again, we'll talk about if he's overrated or not in the MPO recap, but I just feel like when they lost, it was really weird to just see all the hate in the comments. Everybody just like shitting on him, saying around his dog shit, calling him names. And it just happened to many people, even casters. I just don't feel like it's justified. I just don't get it. Why is this man getting hate, like that much hate? He's also fun on the mic. It's not every day that you get to see this. And by the way, while we're on the point of like hate, let's also talk a little bit about this player personality and how hate has kind of impacted players' personalities. Because back in the day, especially Season 3, at the start of MPL ID, we saw a lot of very interesting players who could speak their mind in interview, players who are interesting in interviews. Now we see a bunch of fucking AI bots who are just answering with the most formulaic, boring questions, which is fine. If that's your character, if you're just a boring dude, which is, in the esports world, a very common thing, you're a nerd. You don't really take, and you're not really good at socializing, which is completely fine. I'm not trying to blame the players who do this, but I think for a lot of the players in MPL ID, they have personality. I know they have personality. I know they have that spice in them. It's just the hate makes them scared, pressures them. So they don't want to say anything too risky in an interview, because why would I say this? If I say this, there's no positive impact that it can bring to me. It's just going to be people hating, like, why are you shit talking? Be humble and shit. I get being humble, but it's another thing being a complete pussy. And I think the haters have made the players very self-aware of what they want to say. So when you have someone like Aran who's had a phenomenal performance, who's been very good on the mic, very fun to watch on the mic in interviews, get hate like this, I'm just gonna say it now. I don't think he's gonna be shit. I don't think he's gonna be shit talking. I don't think he's gonna be saying anything next week if he wins, and that's just sad to see. You're taking the fun out of everything. The haters. And I hope, I DM'd Aran as well. I hope he doesn't stop. I hope he just continues to shit talk, or, you know, to have personality. Just, God damn it, just let your personality flow. And to all the haters, I've seen this so many times. I shit you not. This sounds very stupid now that I'm saying it again, but you guys can see it in the comment section of every interview where someone just trash talks. Even Moreno experienced this after he shit. Okay, Moreno trash talked PH, kinda, right? Saying he's gonna mukbang all the PH teams. And it's cool if the Filipinos hate him, right? Because, you know, he's trash talking the Filipino teams. Cool, makes sense. The Indonesians are hating him, saying that, bro, why are you talking shit if you don't have a trophy? I don't get this. I really don't get this. Conor McGregor didn't have a trophy, didn't have a championship when they started trash talking. Okay, it's called a mental game. It's called just being. It's called just having personality, bro. I swear to God, these haters have no life. Probably are fucking like useless, and are disappointments to their families, and just spouting out bullshit here to relieve themselves or to compensate for their sad life. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me know if you guys agree in the comment section down below. If you guys don't agree, if you guys disagree, you can just let me know why you disagree, and maybe you think haters are fine. I think haters are fine personally. Like, you can say whatever you want. I'm just criticizing you. I'm expressing my freedom of speech as you guys have also expressed your freedom of speech. I'm not saying hate is like you can't hate. You can hate on me too. I don't give a fuck. Thank you for watching, haters or fans, because it gets me the same ad revenue. Thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you guys enjoyed, dislike if you didn't. Comment down below whether you agree or disagree with any one of the topics that we've been speaking about. And don't forget, we are going to be uploading MPL recap tomorrow. So peace out. Boom bang, bada bing.